Hey folks, welcome back to the farm here in the kitchen. We're still on a little break from harvest. We're expecting some snow even tomorrow and the next day. And it's been a real misty, wet couple days. It hasn't been raining, but there's been so much moisture in the air that everything's just soaked outside. So we figured it was a good day for soup, and that was Kelly's request. So we're going to make her our just amazing tomato soup. And when Kelly gets home here in a little bit, she's going to make some really good grilled cheese sandwiches with some sourdough bread that she made the other day. And we're going to have a fantastic supper. So stick around. We'll show you how to make this amazing tomato soup. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get right after it in our big Dutch oven here. We've got 3 tablespoons of butter and 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And when that butter gets melted, we're going to add a chopped kind of medium to large onion. You can use white or yellow. I wouldn't use purple because that'll throw your color off probably in your dish. Onions are in. We're going to cook these until they are translucent. We're on medium heat here, but we're using one of these big burners. So if you've got a small burner like maybe this one back here, you'd probably want to run it on high maybe. It's off now. You can see they're just starting to get a little bit of color. So now what goes into a pot is a whole quart jar of our tomatoes. And we're going to do a whole big can of tomato juice. That's a 46-ounce can. We're just going to dump that right in the pot. Tomatoes are in. Now at this point we can just start dumping a bunch of the rest of the ingredients in the pot. That's what's nice about this recipe. It's one pot, just pretty much a dump-in recipe. So next item is a little bit of chicken starter or chicken stock, chicken bouillon, whatever you want to call it. Now I forgot to tell you, if you don't have a quart jar of tomatoes, that's equal to about 2 cans of your tomatoes at the store, the small regular like soup cans. We're using the Better Than Bouillon chicken base, and you use 1 to 3 tablespoons, whatever you like. If you're using the powder chicken base or the chicken bouillon, start with a tablespoon or so and then check your mixture for salt, because that adds a lot of sodium to the mix. So you don't want to go crazy with the sodium. We're going to add some salt later, so you can always just back off on the salt. It's fine. Next thing we're going to add is some sugar to the mix to balance the acidity that's in the tomatoes. Depending on the acidity of your tomatoes, you can add 1 to 3 tablespoons. We're adding all 3. Comes out good for us. And then we're going to add some salt, because we already know that we need some. A couple good pinches of salt, probably ended up being about a teaspoon. And then we're going to add some black pepper. Probably about a half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon, whatever your taste is. And these aren't all of the ingredients, but it's all worth going to add right now. We're going to bring this back up to a simmer. Now the recipe calls for some basil. Now if we had fresh basil, we would add it at the end. But we're going to use our dry basil from the garden. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of dry basil. And that's why we're adding it now, so it has time to kind of rehydrate and wake up in the mix as this comes to a simmer. That adds a wonderful flavor to the soup. We're going to add some fresh parsley, because we have some fresh parsley in the fridge. So we'll throw that in last, because we don't want it to go crazy like dark brown or wilty in there. Kelly must be home. The dogs are going crazy. Probably saw her out the front window. So we want to bring this just to a simmer. You don't want it to bring it to like a full boil. So I can hear this is right at a simmer. I can hear it starting to bubble on the bottom. So at this point I'm going to put a cup of sherry into the mix. That is going to brighten up your soup a little bit. You can find sherry in the vinegar section, like in your grocery store. That's what it looks like right there. So that's gonna cool this off just a little bit by adding that. So we're gonna bring it right back up, just barely to a simmer, and then we'll add the next ingredient. Now my video screwed up when we were doing the final additions to our tomato soup. Once it comes back to a simmer after adding the sherry, turn the fire off, and we added 1.5 cups of heavy cream and 3 tablespoons of chopped parsley because it was fresh and not dried. And this is what your soup comes out to look like. Just beautiful pink color. Fantastic flavor. Hot pot. So now is the time you want to check your soup for spice, for salt. Make sure it's got everything in it that you need. Keep in mind though, if you like eating your soup with like saltine crackers, that's going to add salt to the mix. So you may not want to put as much salt as you would if you were just going to eat it plain like it is. So Kelly's got our cast iron out, which she likes using for grilled cheese. And then she's going to use some of our herb butter, using rosemary butter.
Yep.
So that's the butter that she made earlier in the year to make our grilled cheese sandwiches. And she's using her sourdough bread that she made the other day. It's going to be very crusty and very tasty. And then I'm having cheddar and Swiss, and she's going to have Havarti and cheddar. She's got her butter melted in the skillets. Now she's got her bread in there, getting ready to put them together. We always tell Ruby don't be in the kitchen, so she sits right outside the door and stares at us, thinking she's going to get some tasty morsels. Alright, she's got them flipped and she's got the cheese put on. Must be mine because it's got Swiss cheese. Now I just got to brown it. She's done. My grilled cheese is all done. What a great wife I have, makes mine first. Kelly's using chive butter for her sandwich. That sounds yummy too. Kelly got her sandwich done, cooked to perfection. Well, there's supper, folks. Tomato soup and grilled cheese. The secret is you dip your grilled cheese in your tomato soup, if you didn't already know that. So Kelly and I are going to have supper. All right, folks, that's our fantastic tomato soup. It couldn't be a better night for it. So we hope you try this recipe. And we hope you come back and see us here at Markelly Farm. We love you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thanks for watching.